so many questions. How's your love life going? And I mean, I'm perfectly allowed to address it, like you can talk about these things. I feel like this is going to get a bit deep. And it's something that I think about almost daily. This is so stupid. Why am I getting emotional about this? It feels like a really long time since I've sat down and spoken to you guys about anything even relatively personal, so I feel a little bit scared filming this video. I'm not sure why. I used to do a lot of Q&As and things like that back in the day, but then I feel like life happened and I didn't really want to talk about it, so my YouTube channel became a place where I just wanted to upload like fun content and me having fun, and I didn't really want to talk about actual life. So I guess I kind of tried to separate my real life from my YouTube life, but I kind of want to bring that back because I think that's a really important part of having a good relationship with you guys. So today we are doing a little Q&A, a little catch up. You've asked me your questions over on Instagram. By the way, I just want to say before I start, the reason why my face looks pale and the rest of me looks really tanned is because of the light that I've used, so do not fear, my knee is actually the same colour as my face in person. Anyway, let's get cozy. I've got a blanket. I did have a cup of tea, but I've already finished it, so soz about that. But if you've got a cup of tea, enjoy it. Let's have a cozy evening together. So the thing that sparked this little Q&A life update is the other day I posted on my Instagram story and I briefly explained to you guys that I'd left my YouTube management, I'd joined a new one, which led to a lot of questions. So if you didn't see my Instagram story, I basically said there was going to be a few more brand deals happening on my channel and my Instagram over the next month or so, and the reason for that was because I've left my old management and I've joined a new management, and during this like crossover period of who am I signed with, obviously I'm still fulfilling brand deals with my old management, but my new management have got me brand deals too. And I wasn't going to mention the fact that I've left my management at all on any of my social media, purely because it's something that happens like behind the scenes. It doesn't really make a difference to you guys whatsoever. However, the increase in brand deals this month, I think some of you would have realised that, which is why I wanted to address it. And I mean, I'm perfectly allowed to address it, like you can talk about these things. I just didn't want any unnecessary dramas, do you know what I mean? But a lot of you guys asked me why I left my old management, including a lot of YouTubers, because the management I was signed with is a really big management. I would say like one of the biggest in the industry. And when I left, a lot of people thought I was crazy for leaving because they are such a big company and they can open so many doors. However, I guess I felt like a bit of a small fish in a big pond with them, and that's no one's fault. It's just that it's such a big company with so many talent signed and so many massive talent signed that sometimes I felt like, how do I keep up with this? Like, it's physically impossible. This industry is very fast flowing and it can be so exciting, but I think I'd got myself in a little bit of a rut and I was kind of in the mindset of like, I'm never going to be one of the top, I'm never going to get those opportunities because they're going to get it. Do you know what I mean? Also, this job is a very lonely job. Like, you don't have colleagues, you don't go into work and see people every day, you don't have a boss who tells you, oh, get on with this today. That's not me complaining about this job at all, because I absolutely love it and I love working from home and things like that, but I do feel like a management is quite important to have a really personal relationship. Like, I want to be talking to people every day, I want to be going to an office like multiple times during the week and things like that. So that was one of the main reasons why I left. Obviously there are a few other things that I'm not going to go into because, I don't know, obviously like financial reasons and things like that I'm not going to get into, but on a personal level, that was why I left, and I felt like I've just rambled about that for a really long time. The next question is, have you got any future projects coming up that you can tell us about? I guess I could say that I've got a meeting with a merch company coming up, so I mean obviously nothing is written in stone or anything like that, but I would like to bring out some kind of like little line, not necessarily like merch, but just kind of like a few products, you know? Do you watch Mrs. Hinch on Instagram? I do indeed. I love Mrs. Hinch. For a little while, for like a solid month, I was finding that my brain was going into overdrive when I was going to sleep. So before I went to sleep every night, I would sit and watch Mrs. Hinch's Instagram of the day. If you follow Mrs. Hinch, you know her stories are long, and I found that it really calmed me down, and it really like, I don't know, it's a nice little bedtime routine, and my mind was in overdrive. I was like, oh my god, it's because I haven't watched Sophie's Instagram today. So I'd head onto her story, watch her clean her kitchen worktops, and then I'd be good to go, and I felt a lot better after that. Okay, this question, I feel like this is going to get a bit deep. Megan says, where did you think you would be right now when you were younger? Not in the position I'm in right now, Megan. I can tell you that for free, hun. So for anyone that doesn't know, I'm 21 right now, and I will be for the next year or so. This won't come as a surprise to a lot of you, but when I was younger, I always wanted to get married young, I wanted to have kids young, I wanted to have kids first and then get married. I always thought that I would like be engaged and then have my first baby, and I always wanted a kid by the time I was like 22. So that gives me like T-minus 9 months to find someone and have a child. It's not gonna happen. It's just not. And I can joke about it now, but it is something that really, really affected me, like quite badly. Because when I tell you that all of my friends are in settled relationships, that is no joke. Like, I am the single friend. I am the only person in my family, like my whole family, that's single. All my cousins have boyfriends. Genuinely, the only breathing human in my family that's single. So that's great. And I was having this conversation with one of my close friends, and she's in a settled relationship and she's just moved out with her boyfriend. But right now she's not very happy in her job. Whereas I, on the other hand, love my job. Like, I'm earning a good amount for my age, I feel. But I haven't got an other half, and obviously life doesn't depend on that, but when that's the one thing that you really wanted, like to have a partner and a family, I don't want to get emotional, but when that's the one thing that you wanted and you haven't got that, it feels it makes me feel a bit deflated and a bit like I've failed myself sometimes. This is so stupid, why am I getting emotional about this? But my friend said to me, she was like, and she didn't mean it in a nasty way, she just said, isn't it funny how we've both got what the other one wanted? And it's something that I think about almost daily. This is so stupid. I didn't want to get upset. There's no need to, like, it's ridiculous. Han, get over yourself. You are no man, Han. Embrace it. 2 seconds. I don't know. I know it's not that deep, and one day I'll find someone and I will have a family and do all of the things that I wanted to do. One of my other friends said to me, but you're doing so well. Like, you love your job and career-wise you're like on the up. And I went, yeah, but my personal goals were like long gone. I think once I let go of this weird timeline that I had in my head though, then I'll feel a lot better, and I am gradually getting there actually, surprisingly, because I've just almost cried about it. I think that's why I find dating hard as well, because I had this timeline, and so now if I meet someone and I don't feel like they're going to fit the timeline that I'm already overdue, I'm like, nah, you're not worth my time. And it's really damaging, I know it is, but I can't help it, that's just what I'm like. Jesus Christ, cry me a river. Someone else says, what changed for you from when you were considering quitting YouTube to now? So if you haven't watched me for that long, you might not know that. I think it was last January, it wasn't this January just gone, but I felt really just a bit down about my channel and I didn't feel very inspired or motivated. But I think what's really helped me is actually trending videos, so like 24-hour challenges and food challenges and things like that, because I love filming them, so much so to the point where I got my mojo back when I was filming those type of videos. I think my energy came across in the videos, obviously they hit the algorithm more and my views went up a bit more. I started to gain subscribers again when it had really stopped for quite a long time. It's not entirely numbers focused, but that definitely did help get my motivation back, because it felt more like a job and I wanted to like impress people more and put more effort into my videos. So I think that's what's changed, and now I absolutely love it. I love making content. I feel more satisfied in my job right now than I have probably ever, actually. A lot of you guys said, how are you? So thank you very much. That's a lovely question to ask. I'm good right now. I have my down days. I have had a few weeks in the past couple of months that have been not so great, but I've really learned how to like take care of myself. So when it all got a bit much, I just went to Brighton for a few days. I was like, do you know what? I just want to get away. I just want to sit and do nothing. I don't want to look at my phone. I don't want to answer emails. I don't want to have the pressures of like being online all the time. So I just went to Brighton, sat on the beach, did absolutely nothing for a few days, and it was great. Do you have any trips planned for 2020? I don't actually have any planned right now. I have nothing booked, but I have them in mind that I want to do. I'd love to go to New York next year. Someone else actually asked, are you going to go to New York to see Leanne? So my best friend Leanne lives in New York. She has done for a couple of years now. She's studying out there. She's at the equivalent of university. Next year she graduates, and I would love to go to her graduation in New York. It's like one of my goals for next year. But, oh my God, the prices in New York. The thing is with me is my family and Leanne's family are really close, and obviously Leanne's family are going to her graduation, and I would love to be able to take my family as well and not just me. So for my whole family to go, Fab Han needs to get a few more brand deals in, let's put it that way. So many questions. How's your love life going? I tweeted about this actually, and I said that dating is such a roller coaster because you get the highest highs and then you get the disappointing lows like every week, straight to the gut. But it's something that you just have to deal with. It's just part of dating. Everyone goes through it. I'm just not going to force anything, which I know sounds ironic given that I had this weird timeline concept. I just think if I chill out a bit, Han, editing Han, listen to this. Chill out, go with the flow, focus on your career, your family, earning enough to go to New York next year, because boys will always be there. Actually, turns out it's harder to find a boy than you'd think it would be. Anyway, that's my dating advice for anyone watching. Not that I'm qualified to give dating advice. I also get a lot of questions about moving out. This is something that really gets me heated, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not sure why, but people online seem to think that I don't want to move out. Don't get me wrong, I'm not rushing out the door. I like living at home, but I don't want to be at home forever. I think because in this industry, like a lot of YouTubers move out so young and they move to London and have these really exciting lives, but I'm such a saver with my money that I don't want to be spending thousands of pounds on rent every month in London. Like some people I know have been spending like thousands and thousands on rent. That's not a bit of me. I think I'm mostly saving to buy somewhere. I wouldn't say never to renting, because if I found someone to live with in London and it like split the costs, then yeah, I'd love to do that. But the reason why I haven't moved out yet is because of the financial side of it. So if everyone could stop asking, that'd be great. People assume that I'm not independent when I'm actually very independent. Other than the fact that I don't live by myself, everything else I do by myself. I pay for everything myself. The thing is, when you live in Essex/London, moving out is not cheap. Okay, someone says, are you excited for Christmas this year? And someone else says, do you have any festive plans? So I have a couple of festive plans. I'm going to go to Winter Wonderland with my friends. I'd like to go on a little weekend away to some kind of cabin with a few of my friends as well, but that'll probably be more like January time. But to be honest with you, Christmas in our house, like we don't have any young children in the family, so it's kind of like just a chill out day. We just have a big roast. We're gonna watch Gavin and Stacey. I'm very excited for that. But it's not like this massive deal, and it's especially not this year because a few people have asked about this actually. So I think I briefly mentioned on Instagram once that my dad wasn't very well, and he's actually due to have a really big operation, which is something that's quite scary for the whole family, and it's probably gonna be happening right around Christmas time. So I'm not that excited for Christmas because that's coming up. We're not going to be doing a lot for Christmas this year because obviously my dad's health comes first. And I also quickly want to point out that if I do have a couple of weeks offline, that will be the reason why. It'll be because my dad's been in hospital or is still in hospital or is in recovery. I think his recovery is due to be like 6 to 8 weeks. So please bear with me if my uploads are a little bit few and far between. I will try my best to keep it just flowing though, and hopefully you guys won't even notice a difference when that happens. Soph says, any business ventures you're exploring outside of social media that might surprise us? There actually is. So a lot of you guys know that I bought a house when I was 19 as an investment. I would really like to buy another house one day, but I think I definitely want to buy one for me first. However, I have invested in another company, which I invested in back in like June or July this year, I think. I was still 20, so I'm hoping to do one investment every year. I'm not sure how feasible that's going to be, but I'm going to try my best because I want to set up the best future for myself that I possibly can. So I did invest in another company which has nothing to do with property, nothing to do with YouTube or the internet or anything like that. I'm trying to be a businesswoman, trying, being the key word there. And the final question, because I feel like this has been quite long and I've rambled quite a lot, is what has been the happiest time in 2019? Probably like mid-July to mid-August has been my happiest time because I saw so many of my friends this summer. I went on so many trips. I was literally here, there and everywhere. I had a lot of plans in London around that time. It was just a really fun time of year. I missed the summer. I missed it a lot. I feel like a lot has changed since then. I think everyone's got a bit of a case of sad, which is like the most depressing thing in the world when the weather is rubbish and you feel rubbish. And summer was such a happy time. I miss it. I miss it a lot. I'm excited for next summer already. I hope it will be even better than this year. So my friends, that brings us to the end of this Q&A. Apologies for getting a little bit emosh. I wasn't expecting that, but lol. I hope that answers some of your questions and I feel like you've caught up with my life a little bit more now. But anyway, do subscribe to see my future videos. I hope you're having a very cozy evening, just like I am with my blanket and my empty cup of tea. But anyway, I hope you're having a lovely week and I'll see you again soon with another little video. Bye guys, love ya.